Good evening. I'm Galen Many. I'm a retired United Methodist pastor, and I attend St. Matthew's United Methodist Church in Bowie. I'm here on this Friday evening, the last Friday in the month of May, to present another story about one of our Methodist circuit riders. But first I want to start with a word of scripture from Galatians, the 6th chapter, verses 1 through 9. Brethren, if a man be overtaken in a fault, ye which are spiritual, restore such an one in the spirit of meekness, considering thyself, lest thou also be tempted. Bear ye one another's burdens, and so fulfill the law of Christ. For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceiveth himself. But let every man prove his own work, and then shall he have rejoicing in himself alone, and not in another. For every man shall bear his own burden. Let him that is taught in the word communicate unto him that teacheth in all good things. Be not deceived. God is not mocked, for whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption, but he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. And let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. Let us pray. Oh God, we always want to be encouraged to do the best in whatever we start out to do. And we want to be one of your children. We want us for you to be claiming us. And so we think of those messengers of the good news, always ready, under whatever circumstances in which they find themselves. The gospel is foremost on their minds. And so teach us, O God, to know that we cannot be weary in well-doing, or in due season we shall reap. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I want to tell the story this evening about John Strange. He was born in Virginia in 1789. Little is known about him, his early childhood. We do know that his family, when he was still very young, they moved to Ohio. And we do know that he began his ministry as a circuit rider in Ohio in 1810. In 1812, he received an appointment to a circuit in what now is the state of Indiana. On this circuit, it is said that he carried a gun along with his Bible. This was to defend himself from the Indians, and they had been all stirred up during the War of 1812. It is known that he preached at many camp meetings for several years in both Indiana and Ohio. Eventually, he became a presiding elder, meaning a district superintendent, of 3 different districts in Indiana, in Madison, in Charlestown, and Indianapolis. He married Ruth Waller, and together they had 5 children. Historian William Warren Smith wrote this about John Strange. He says, it is doubtful if there has been a Methodist preacher loved more than John Strange. He was much like other circuit riders. He dressed like them. Early in his life, he was converted and began preaching, and he suffered many hardships on riding a horse day after day. He was considered a productive minister who won many converts. But like so many other circuit riders, Strange's health gave way by overwork. It said that his appearance was somewhat peculiar. His waist, his neck, and his arms were long, disproportionately to other parts of his body. One of our bishops, Bishop Ames, couldn't refrain from noting that there was a strange attraction in his manner. There was a strange, unearthly power in his thoughts and in his words. Of course, he uses the word strange because that's his name. Another oddity was his apparent indifference to the need of his family. Fondly, he spoke about how it was God's taking care of his family, that God would take care of them. And he would do this as often as he rode off to another stop on his circuit without making any provision for them. In 1815, Strange preached his first sermon on the banks of the Ohio River in Rising Sun, Indiana. And the people there gathered and began a church. And it's named today the Rising Sun United Methodist Church. Its first building was a bar room. So that's where Strange started in that community. And in 1818, a lot was secured and a building was erected. Strange is regarded as the most beloved minister, not just in Indiana, but also in Ohio. And it's in Ohio where he spent the close of his life, described as a faithful, eloquent, and beloved minister of Jesus Christ. As Strange's last illness in his life wore on, he had no place to go. He joined other homeless men seeking shelter in the unfinished and abandoned governor's residence. His colleagues, however, other Methodist circuit riders, appreciated his ministry, and they bought for him a lot upon which a house was built. In December 1834, Strange died at the age of 45 in Indianapolis, Indiana. He was a minister in the Methodist Episcopal Church for 23 years. Let us pray. Oh, thank you, O God, for not allowing us to get off the path which leads to eternal life, and that we recognize Jesus Christ as being your example here on this earth. So we read about him over and over again, and we look at his teachings, and we say, surely this is the word that you sent. You sent your only Son not only into the world, but you kept sending to him the teachings that you wanted the whole world to know about. Thank you, God, for these brave and heroic Methodist circuit riders who went from place to place, who held camp meetings where thousands of people would be there and many conversions would take place. And we thank you also that they met in different communities out of which a church was organized. And many of these churches are still around today. Thank you, O God, for being present in our lives now, and we know you always will be. Amen. Hope you have a good evening, and I'll look forward to seeing some of you next week.